Well, hello and welcome to Positivity Now, the show that focuses on all things positive. I am your host, Jonas Cain. I have a story and a magic trick I like to share with you folks. I saw a magician, this is a true story, a number of years ago. He took a piece of rope and he just shook the rope. And when he shook the rope, a knot appeared. It was one of the most amazing things I'd ever seen, because usually when you tie a knot, you have to use two hands, go through all these motions, but just one hand, a little toss. He showed me how he did it. And I have spent years, literally years, practicing this just to show you this right now. Now, I've never been able to do it. Not on the first try, anyway. I can do it on the first try, maybe the second time around. But it's usually the fifth or sixth. Hey! No! That was like the best I've ever done. Everyone at home, you better be applauding. I can't hear you. Please call in and applaud for me. All right, so that's what the trick would look like, but he can do it on the first try. Now, spending years practicing this, I got lost in the goal of being able to do this, because really all the illusion is, it's not even illusion, you're really tying a knot in the rope just in a unique way. It's a party trick. But if the goal is to just shake the rope and have a knot appear, well, there's more than one way to do this. If we get stuck in the goal, we can get frustrated. But if we get lost instead and focus on the intention, that's when we can stay fascinated and find novel ways to create the same outcome. And there is another way of doing this. All you do is you take the rope, and it's all in how you hold it. It's all in our poise, our posture. How do we hold it? Just like this. You hold it very steady, and with a little drop of the hand, a knot appears. Everyone at home go, yay. There's more than one way to have a successful outcome, because remember, if the only intention is to have a knot in the rope, well, that's all you got to do. Now, if we want to be fancy about it, yeah, there's other things we have to do to keep an open mind to do that. But if we really keep an open mind, and this is really what I want to show you folks. Everyone go, ooh. We introduce the second rope. And we wrap the ropes together. We sort of braid them together. And when we braid them together, this is where real magic starts to happen, because you can't tell now where one rope ends and one rope begins, even though they're different colors. Let's hope this works. The knot travels from one rope all the way to the other. Now, of course, I can hear it now. A lot of people say, well, Jonas, how do we know that this is a real knot? I understand that we're all skeptics here, but remember, let's keep an open mind. Let's take the knot off. I'm going to pull the knot off, and let's just hold this up so the camera can see it nice and good. Can you all see that? That is a real, honest-to-goodness knot. I'll put it back on the rope, but now we're going to find out why. Well, why is this happening? Well, every time we meet someone, a little part of that person becomes a part of who we are, which is why we should always keep an open mind and be careful who we hang out with. But this knot doesn't just travel to the rope, but it becomes the rope, making for a much more interesting world. And this sets the theme for what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about the differences between goals, the differences between intentions, and the importance of keeping an open mind. Let's get started. Well, here we are, week 2 of our 8-episode series on the 8 steps for thinking, being, and staying positive. Well, last time, of course, we talked about P, plan, play, and pursue. Today, very important, is open your mind and open your heart. Open yourself up to a world of possibilities. And this is so important because we get so wrapped up oftentimes in the goal that we forget the original intention that we had in mind. For instance, let's say you end up going the wrong way. Let's say you're driving to a friend's house, you went the wrong way. Wouldn't it make sense to stop, turn around, and go back, right? It would make sense. Well, even though you're going the wrong way, you can still get to your friend's house. It's going to take 24,902 miles, approximately, but you're going to get there. Now, why is it going to take 24,902 miles? Well, that's the circumference of the Earth. So even if you go the wrong way, if you just stick to it and just blindly keep persisting without remembering your original intention, then it's going to take a really long time. It's going to be really hard. It's going to be really dangerous. But you know what? You'll get there eventually. There's a much easier way, which is why this step is to open our mind, open our heart. Just because we've always done something some way, that doesn't mean that's the only way. It also doesn't mean that it's the best way. Sometimes what we're doing, it might be impractical, it might be impossible, or it might even be dangerous. For example, I read an article recently in National Geographic. They said that the horseflies of Africa will not bite the zebra. And I think you could probably guess why the horseflies don't bite the zebra. It's, of course, because they're called zebras, and there's no such thing as zebra flies. No. In all seriousness, the reason that the horseflies don't bite the zebras is because, according to the scientists, they say the reflective polarized light that comes off of their coat because of the stripes. I don't know the science behind it. This is just what they said. It confuses the horseflies so much that even though these horseflies are looking for a potential meal, they don't see what is right in front of them. Now, this happens in our everyday lives all the time. We're looking, but are we really seeing what we're looking for because we're so blinded by the goal that we have forgotten our original intention? For another example, we have a number of numbers here, a number of numbers. So the question would become, how many times do you see the number 24 on this piece of paper? Now, there's a couple solutions to this, of course. Of course, we see it right up here at top. We could take the numbers individually. We have a 2 here and a 4 there, so that's number 24. But we're looking, but are we really seeing? Consider this. If we take 8 plus 11 plus 2 plus 3, that is 24. If we take 1 plus 4 is 5, 5 plus 7 plus 12, that's 24. We have 5 and 4 is 9, 9 and 9 is 18, 18 plus 6 is 24, 3 plus 6 plus 5 plus 10 is 24. You see, we were looking, but we weren't at first seeing. That is all of the rows. But what about the columns? 8 plus 1 plus 5 plus 10, that's 24. 5 plus 4 plus 4 plus 11, that's 24. 7 plus 2 is 9. 9 and 9 is 18. 18 plus 6 is 24. 3 and 6 and 12 and 3 is 24. Everyone at home go, yay! There's more than one way to have a successful outcome. We don't have to go 24,902 miles to get there, but we do have some more options. We could, of course, take all of the diagonals. We have the 8 plus 4 plus 9 plus 3, that's 24. The 3 plus 7 plus 4 plus 10, that is 24. But wait a second. We have a whole bunch of squares here. We have 4 rows, we have 16 squares. But are there really 16 squares? We could take 4 squares together to make a square. We can do that 1 to the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We can do a whole bunch of we can do that a whole bunch of times. We have a whole bunch more squares here. But how about if we take 4 squares together to make a square? We have 8 plus 1 is 9. 9 plus 4 plus 11, that's 24. 5 and 10 is 15. 15 and 5 is 20. Plus 4 is 24. 6 and 3 and 6 and 9 is 24. 2 and 7, 12 and 3 is 24. Oh my goodness. And just when we think there's no other possible way to make this work, we can. The 4 corners, 3 plus 8 plus 10 plus 3 is, everyone say it at home, 24. There's more than one way to have a successful outcome. I'm reminded of a story. This was a company in the 1800s in Japan. They made playing cards. And they're still making playing cards. These are actually their playing cards, or their modern version of them. But in the 1800s, they were making these cards, and they had lots of success in the early days. But the president of the company realized that if they were going to have any real success in their company, they were going to have to grow. So the president organized a meeting with the president of the largest playing card company in the world at the time, which was the United States Playing Card Company, which I believe they still are the world's largest playing card manufacturer. So he scheduled a meeting with them. And at that meeting, the president of the Japanese company was surprised. This was now in the 1950s or so. The Japanese manager was surprised because he saw that the world's largest playing card manufacturer operated out of a little teeny tiny office. Now this Japanese company had ambitions to grow huge, and he recognized that the kind of growth that his company wanted was not going to be possible making little playing cards. It was not going to be possible. So they started experimenting in different kinds of games at the time, in like toys, electronics, and they really started to compete in the emerging electronics gaming market, which was very good that they did this. If they didn't have an open mind, if they had stuck to the goal of making playing cards instead of the intention of providing value to their customers, but if they had stuck to that goal instead, they would have been in trouble, because it was right around that time, 1950s, 1960s, playing card sales were plummeting. But thankfully, by this time, this company had transitioned into making electronic toys, and it ended up snowballing into the multi-billion-dollar electronic gaming company that we now know today as Nintendo. I don't know if you can see it on here, but these are Nintendo playing cards. They still make playing cards. I didn't realize that until I heard this story. But Nintendo still dabbles in playing cards. They're back to their roots. But if the Nintendo playing card company didn't have an open mind, if they didn't have an open mind, if they stuck to their goals instead of their original intentions, there's no way they would have experienced the explosive growth today, and we probably wouldn't know anything about the name Nintendo. Well, that's it. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Positivity Now. If you'd like more information, or if you have any questions, please visit our website, positivitymagic.com. Until then, my name is Jonas Cain. Stay positive.